Ron Brown with Tech for Senior. You know, over the past couple of years, we've really got to know Zoom. But in the last year, they've added some features, and one of them is called live transcription. Or is it closed captioning? That's a bit confusing. Let me explain that in our video today. It sure is a great feature and will help people with hearing. Let me show you how this works. Now you remember the like and subscribe thing. Let's get this done and then we'll get on with the show. So when we set up the live transcription service, it must be done in two parts. The first part is the host. What does the host have to do to enable this? And I'm going to show you in the first set of slides what the host has to do to enable live transcription. There's some things in settings that you must do in your Zoom account before the meeting starts. Once you've done it once, you don't have to repeat this. It'll be there for all your future meetings. All right, this is the menu that you will get when you log into your Zoom account. You see that on the left side I have meetings, webinars, recordings, and settings. To get to closed captioning settings, let's click the settings button. This will bring you up this menu. And what I want you to do is come over into In-Meeting Advanced. We're going to click this. And once you click Advanced, it's going to take you down right to the bottom here where it says Closed Captioning. Now you have three options here. There's I have all three ticked. The first is allow use of caption API token to integrate with third-party closed captioning services. I'm not exactly sure what that does, but I leave that ticked. Allow live transcription service to translate in the meeting automatically. This should be ticked off. And then allow viewing of full transcription in the in-meeting side panel. And you'll be able to see the transcription as it continues in the right side panel. We'll discuss that in a minute. And then it allows you to save captions. Allow participants to save fully closed captions or transcripts. Please make sure this is ticked. Now you don't have to save this, because let me show you when I turn this off. At the top it says your settings have been updated. So there is no save in this feature. So it will just update and change it when you toggle the switch. This must be done before the meeting starts in your settings. Once you've done this once, you'll never have to do it again. This is remembered for all future sessions and meetings that you're going to have, okay? So for the rest of this video, I'm going to have two computers connected together running a Zoom meeting. Now, just to keep things clear, if the background is light blue, then the screen is for a participant. If the background is a light green, then the screen is for a host. And we will be moving back and forth between two different screens. So to keep it easy for you to understand, I've made blue for participants and green for host. So if you are the attendee, this is what you'll see. You're going to come down to the live transcript and you're going to click on live transcript. And this is what you'll see as an attendee. You'll see the following message: request that the host enable live transcription for the meeting. Click request. This will send a request to the host to start the service. Someone must do this to start the service so that the transcription will start. Now as host, this is what you're going to get on your screen. It's going to say Ron Brown requests that live transcription be enabled for the meeting. And you have three options. You can either enable it by clicking the blue button, you can decline, and you also can decline and don't ask again. So the same person can't keep re-asking this. As a good host, you would want to enable this feature to allow people with hearing problems to be able to participate in your meeting. You would enable this feature, and at the top of the menu you'll see live transcript closed captioning has been enabled. Now, as the host, you don't have to wait for someone to ask you to enable live transcription. At the beginning of the meeting, you can simply go back down to the bottom of your menu and click on live transcription. You'll then be brought up to this menu and you have a number of choices. At the top, you can assign someone to participate to type in the live transcription, or you can type it. I'm not sure why anyone would do this with the automatic system they have now, but it is possible that you can type your own transcription in. Or you can use a third-party CC service. And to this, you'll copy an API token and paste this in the third-party closed captioning tool. But most of you will probably just use the live transcription enable auto transcription. Click that button and you'll see it turns blue and it will start the live transcription. You'll see below that a blue box with a check mark in. This is where we originally set this up in the settings menu, and it allows participants to request live transcription. All right, in this example, I am the host and I want to enable live transcription before someone asks me. I've just started the meeting, so how would I go about this? So if you come down in the bottom, we'll see live transcription. So I'm going to click this and we are going to enable live transcription. Click the button and it's going to start live transcription, as you can see on the bottom. Now if I come up here, you'll see it says live transcription closed captioning has been enabled. Who can see this? Well, let's click this and find out. It says the transcript from this meeting may be saved and shared with apps and others by participants with relevant permission based on the settings configured for this meeting. Now those are the settings that we set up originally when we put our default settings in for the meeting. Now you'll see that this is pretty cool. It's giving me live transcription as we talk. But suppose you don't want to see that. Not everybody needs to or will want live transcription. So let's see how we can turn this off on an individual basis, not globally. So if we come down, and we'll come down again to the live transcription, we're going to click this again, the little caret here, and what we're going to do is we're going to hide the subtitle. So click this, and now it's all gone away. So although globally we can have this turned on for everybody, you as an individual can turn this off. All as you come down here to live transcription, click the little caret going up, and then we're going to turn it off. Now I want it to come back on because we can actually change the size of this transcription here. So again, if you have problems with your vision, we can actually help you as well. So let's see what we can do here. So I'm going to do the little caret thing again, and let's come down to subtitle settings, all right? And here, what we can do is there's a slider here. This is in the accessibility section. There's a slider here, and this slider can change, and watch how it changes the size of this from very small to very large. And so you can actually change how big the transcription is going to look. Pretty cool, eh? That's neat. Now, one more thing I want to show you. If we come down to the transcription here, we can click View Full Transcript. And if we click this, we'll come along here, and yes, it's all being recorded for us. And guess what? You can save this. Just come down here to Save Transcript, and it is now saved, and we can show it in the folder. You can't see that, but it's going to show it in a folder on my other screen, so it's going to save it to your hard drive for you. Well, it's Ron Brown with Tech for Senior. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video, and you'll turn on live transcription for your meetings. Please remember to like and subscribe, and until we meet again, Have a great day.
Website of the Week with Hewie Poplock.
Please like this video and subscribe to our channel. Website of the Week, number 6. I'm Hewie Poplock. Today we're going to be talking about Radio Garden. The website is radio.garden. This is what it looks like. We're going to do a demo in just a bit. Radio Garden invites you to tune into thousands of live radio stations across the globe. Radio Garden is based in Amsterdam, the Netherlands. Their dedicated team is hard at work attending to the garden on a daily basis, planting seeds for the future and keeping the weeds at bay. Those are their words. In 2018, they launched mobile apps for both iOS and Android platforms. In 2019, they introduced the ability for users to search for their favorite stations and places. In early 2020, they launched a major redesign of Radio Garden. Rebuilt from the ground up as a mobile-first experience, it lays the groundwork for future developments. Radio Garden and its iOS app, Radio Garden Live, presents a Google Earth-like globe of the world. As you spin around it, myriad green dots appear. Each dot represents one place, a city or a town, where there is at least one radio station. Tap on any of them and you're listening to that station. It sometimes takes a moment for them to start as the connection is buffered. And Radio Garden, quite subtly, plays the sound effect of an old-time tuning in. But it's never more than a moment's delay before you can hear the station relayed live. If you like the station, you can mark it as a favorite, and you really should. Fortunately, there is a search feature. If you know the name of the station, enter the station name or the region where it's broadcasting from, and Radio Garden will first show a list of the most popular stations there. You can then tap to see the complete list of location stations available in that area. And whichever way you find a station, you can then share it with others or tap to see where it is located on the globe. Radio Garden works on iPhone, iPad, Android, Chromebooks, Mac, or a PC. Radio Garden is free, ad-supported app on the iOS App Store. There's an in-app purchase of $2.99 to remove the advertising. There is an Android version of the app that does work on Chromebooks. For the demo, I'm using the browser version on my PC. Here's how it looks in the Chromebook Play Store and on the Chromebook. If you have it full screen, it's going to look like the left. If you have it partial screen, it will look like it is on the right. Here is a screen capture from my Samsung Android phone and from my iPhone before you install the program. Here's how it looks like on the Chrome browser on my PC. We're going to look at that in just a moment. Please note, due to copyright issues, when I go to a radio station, you will not hear the broadcast. To listen to any stations on Radio Garden, you'll have to visit the site or use the app. When you try the site, you will hear the actual radio station live. There's no static, and all stations are so very clear. So let's look at Radio Garden. This is Radio Garden. It looks a lot like Google Earth. As you move the globe around, you can see all those green dots in this general area here. As we zoom in, let's move into that area. We're in Stuttgart, Germany. And you will see over here on the left, it shows Stuttgart. That's the city we're in. It shows 22 radio stations are available to listen to. And here are some of the selected ones, but you can also look at all 22. Now you can't hear. I'm listening in my headset and I am hearing a radio station. You can't because of copyright issues. I can't record those. So, but you can go to a radio station here and I'm listening some rap music. I'm listening to here. You'll get live caption, and some of the live caption can be, if it's in English, you'll see the words, and if it's music, which this is, I'm going to shut it off and stop. But the music, if you can hear it properly and listen to it properly, you may see the words to the songs. But a lot of songs, it can interpret properly or at all. And of course, if they're foreign languages, it's trying to put down words that are English words, and of course, it's not at all. But you can go to any of these radio stations by clicking on them. You will get various radio stations. Say, okay, down here I got some choices. I can share the station or I can visit its website. If I click on share the station, I can share it on Facebook, I can share it on Twitter, I can share it by email, or I can copy the link. Paste that link. There is the link. And I could go right to that radio station. Also, I can say, okay, that's a radio station I like, so I'll click and get a heart so I can go to it later on, and I'll show you how I do that in just a moment. So I can go anywhere in the world and listen to a radio station. So let's come down here to Florida. We'll zoom in. I could go to any, but it says view all 25 stations. And so it looks at all 25 stations in the area. Now, some of them are streaming, some are not actual over-the-air radio stations, and not all radio stations are here. I went to one city where I know there's several radio stations, and none of the ones that I was familiar with showed up. But here's USF, the University of South Florida. Some of these other stations, the Bone I listen to on a regular, is a talk station. You're going to see that they're talking. Now, if you click on favorites, I have clicked that one that I clicked earlier, and then one I clicked at a different time that I was on. It's a local station from here. If I click that, it actually will go down to that station. If I click this one, it'll go back over and go to Germany, bring right into that station. So let's say I want to WDBO. It's in Orlando. If I go there, bingo, it's right there. Let's pick another radio station, WOR in New York. Is it still there? Yeah, it's still there. If I go there, bingo, it takes me right up to New York. I can add that to my favorites. And now I'm in New York. There's 216 stations in New York. I can look at all 216 of the stations. So if you're familiar with any of those, any of you are from the New York area, you can see that there's a lot of radio stations there. And a lot of over-the-air stuff. And there's WABC in New York I listened to when I was a kid. Move away from here. Let's move to here. In Jersey City, if I click on that, you can see selected stations picked from the area, popular in the United States, nearby Jersey City, New Jersey, cities in the United States. I can pick any of those cities. So if I decided to pick Dallas, Texas, bingo, it takes me right to Dallas and shows me the stations there. As we come down here, if I want to say, okay, let's go to San Francisco, bingo, it takes me right. If I zoom out, you can see where it's showing that. It might be talk radio, it might be sports. So if you know that a certain station plays the ball game that you're interested in, you can go to that station and be listening to it. Or if you want to listen to some music from your heritage, depending upon where you're from, whether you're Europe or let's see, if you're from Europe, all of the European. If you're in Africa, or let's say South Africa, you can come down here. How about South America? And of course, North America, anywhere in the world. And you can listen to the music, see what they're saying. If you get the talk radio or the news and you understand the language, or a lot of them are in English. And a lot of the music that's there is in English. Anyway, that's Radio Garden. If you want to spend a lot of time perusing, it's there. This has been Website of the Week number 6, Radio Garden. I'm Hewie Poplock.
Google Drive will begin informing its users of content violations via email. Many folks were falsely under the impression that files stored on Google Drive were not subject to any rules. This latest news flash from Google reminds us that this was never the case. There were always rules, and if you broke them, that file would be flagged and simply not be allowed to be shared. With Google's latest move, you will now be notified via email that there is a violation that you need to address. It also affords you the availability of an appeal to that Google ruling, which wasn't there in the past. My main concern is the fact that this revelation by Google makes it quite clear that there isn't really any privacy for those items you store on Google Drive. When a Google Drive file is identified as violating Google's terms of service or program policies, it may be restricted. When it's restricted, you may see a flag next to the file name, you won't be able to share it, and your file will no longer be publicly accessible, even to people who have the link. If you use Google Drive for everything, do not store things there that don't belong. On one side of the coin, you must keep in mind that Google is still a company and your storage is still not completely private if you consider how artificial intelligence and machine learning combs through to find things that violate the service's terms. On the other hand of the coin, anyone who is caught up in practices that match anything listed on the abuse program policy should be caught, and they'd have to be extremely dumb to use cloud storage for those kinds of things anyway. Thanks to Chrome Unboxed for their excellent article on this topic. Just follow the link below. Stay safe, stay secure, and realize there is a difference between privacy and security. More security news flashes as they break.